A pleasant day, grade 11 students. This is Sir Peter, your general mathematics teacher under the strengthened SHS curriculum. So, our lesson for today is lesson 1.1, which will discuss understanding and computing salary, wage, and commission. And this is part 1 of the discussion. So, this is under the learning competency calculate weekly or monthly wage from an annual salary, wages from an hourly rate, including situations involving overtime and other allowances and earnings based on the commission and piecework. For our learning objectives for today, at the end of this session, the student should be able to identify and define key terms related to income. Number 2, we will differentiate the different types of income and explain how various forms of employment affect how income is earned and calculated. And lastly, we will reflect the importance of understanding income-related concepts in real-life scenarios during a guided class forum. So let's start the ball rolling through an activity which is word hunt. So the title of our word hunt is Discovering Concepts About Income. So for the directions, you watch the slides carefully and look for the hidden terms related to the word income. There are 7 words that you must find. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'll give you 1 minute to look for the 7 words that we are looking. So timer starts now. Try to figure out which are the words related to income. How many words were you able to get? You write them on a separate sheet of paper. If in case you did not finish this activity, you could still go back and look for the 7 terms. So what we are looking are 7 terms related to the word income. How many do you have? Do you have 7? Okay, time's up. So I've given you enough time to look for words related to it. Let us check if you have found all of these words. Have you found salary, wages, deductions, gross income, net income, taxes, and the word benefits? So all of these words are related to the concept income. I know some of these words are not familiar with you, but as we go through the lesson, we will talk about the definition of each words. Now, let us have processing questions. So how many items did you get? Did you get 6 words, 5 words, and so on? Or did you get all of them? So let us continue using those 7 words. Which types of income that you found are earned through working? So you could reflect on this question. So remember that the type of income earned through working are salary, wages, and in some cases, part of benefits like performance bonuses and allowances. So a salary is typically given to employees who are paid a fixed amount regularly, while wages are usually calculated based on hours or days you work. So these are both directly tied to employment or services rendered. So those are the words which could be earned through working. Let's have the processing question number 2. how do different types of job like hourly jobs versus sales-based jobs affect how income is calculated? Would you like to reflect on that question? So always remember that in hourly jobs, income is based on the number of hours worked multiplied by the hourly rate. Overtime or night differential pay may increase this total. So in case of sales-based job, income can include a base pay plus the commission, where in which percentages of sales are made. So this means income in sales roles can vary depending on the performance, while income based on hourly jobs will depend on the time worked. So that might be the effect. Let's have the third processing question. So why is it important to understand how salary wages, deductions, and commissions are computed in real life situations? Great. Understanding these concepts is essential for financial literacy. Always remember that. Knowing how salary or wages are computed helps our employees and you as future employees check if you are being paid fairly. So awareness of deductions like taxes, government contributions, or loans explains why net income or your take-home pay is lower than the gross income. So comprehending these elements enable better budgeting, savings and planning, and avoiding surprises during payday. So it will help you prepare as an individual to negotiate fair compensation and recognize your rights as a worker. So great job working on these processing questions. Let us now proceed to the next activity. So for activity number 2, we will check if you really know how to solve different math problems relating to income and earning. Can you try to solve the following problems on your GenMath notebook? I'll give you 1 minute to figure out which of the items you could find interesting, and you can choose any of those 5 problems in which you wanted to solve. I'll give you 1 minute. If you want to choose item number 3 only, which you find easy, then you may do so. Or you can answer all of the 5 items. So those are just very simple questions just to check if you know how to solve easy problems. Have you chosen item number 1? Or did you skip that item and you proceeded to item number 5? If in case you weren't able to finish these 5 items, you may always go back to this video lesson and play it again. Are you still there? Okay. So I already gave you enough time. So great job working through today's math problems related to income and earnings. Now that you have calculated our wages, monthly salaries, or even converted hours to minutes, let's have the discussion about these problems. Let's have number 1. Peter earns 220 pesos per hour as a college instructor. How much will they earn if they work for 8 hours a day? So the answer is simply multiply 220 pesos times 8, and the answer is 1,760 pesos. So this is just a simple multiplication. Let's proceed to item number 2. What did you do to get the monthly salary? Correct. We will divide by 12. So the answer, the monthly salary of Nicole will become 15,000. I hope this is clear. Let's move now to the third question. So how did you convert hours to minutes? Let's see. The correct answer is we simply multiply 4.5 by 60. So the answer becomes 270 minutes. Did you get the same answer? Great. Let's move now to item number 4. So if Cherry worked 6 hours, then how much is her total income? Good job. The answer is 514 pesos and 50 centavos by multiplying our hourly rate by 6 hours. Did you get the same answer? Let's move now to item number 5. Great. We will again multiply. So this problem is a perfect example of a piecework earning. So when we multiply 90 pesos to 18, the answer will be 1,620, which is the total, your total income in sewing 18 tote bags. Did you get 5 out of 5 items? Or did you get a perfect score? Great job working through today's math problems related to income and earnings. So now that you've calculated hourly wage, monthly salaries, and converted hours to minutes, it's time to pose for our processing questions. So remember, math isn't just about getting the right answer, but it's also about understanding how and why you solve it that way. So let's take a few minutes to answer the processing questions. Let's have number 1. What strategies did you use to solve these problems quickly and accurately? Think about what helped you. Did you look for some keywords? Did you underline important numbers or the given? Or maybe you used multiplication and division based on the content on the problem. Did you use a scientific calculator? So be specific when you explain. Let's move now to question number 2. Which problem did you find most challenging and why? So be honest here. Did you choose item number 2 because you're not familiar with the word annual? When we say annual, that is 1 year. So yes, we all struggle sometimes, but was it the problem with the decimal multiplication, the 4.5 times 60? Did you have difficulty on it? Or is it about the converting? So tell me what confused you on what did you solve and how were you able to solve it? Quite challenging, right? And for the last question, how are these type of problems connected to real life situations or job? So this is where you think beyond the page. So why is it important to know how to calculate salary or wages? So how can this help you and your family in your day-to-day experiences? Take time to reflect and remember, math is not just about solving, but it's about understanding. So let us now proceed with our discussion. So let's try to find out, no, and understand the concepts about salary, wage, and commission. So under the Labor Code of the Philippines, the term wage refers to any compensation a worker receives for services rendered, whether it is based on time, task, piece, or commission. Formally, we could define wage as the means of remuneration or earning. So it must be in a form of money. No? So whether it is fixed or as ascertained on that time, task, piece, or commission basis, which is payable by an employer to an employee under a written or unwritten contract of employment for work done or to be done, or for services rendered or to be rendered. So always take note of those definitions. Okay? So there are two types of wages. So hourly wage is the amount earned for each hour worked. And daily wage is the amount of money a worker earns for each day of actual work. So it does not include payment for the days the employee did not work. For example, during rest days, holidays, or leaves, unless otherwise required by law or employer policy. Always remember this definition. So for example, if Mang Pedro earns 450 per day and works 24 days on a month, then what will be the monthly income? So the daily wage there is 450 pesos. So that is how we define it. So many Filipino workers, like those in fast food chains, like the crew in popular fast food chains such as Jollibee and McDonald's, or some laborers on construction sites, are paid based on the number of hours or the days they actually work. So these are perfect examples of works related to wages. Now, what about salary? So a salary refers to a fixed regular wage, typically paid monthly, semi-monthly, or weekly, especially for professional, managerial, or administrative positions. So there are also different types of salary. We have the annual salary, which means 1 year, monthly salary, which is the fixed amount every month, the semi-monthly, and sometimes this is what we call quincenas katapusan. Sometimes in other companies, they will get their semi-monthly salary during 10th and the 25th day of the month. But this could be computed by dividing the salary into two, or you split it into two. And lastly, we also have the weekly salary, which is the income divided received in a week. So we will divide it by 4. So remember that employees in offices like teachers, accountants, or engineers often receive a fixed salary every month. So regardless of the exact days or work, as long as they follow their contract, it is still considered a salary. So for example, if Mom Lisa has an annual salary of 240,000, then we divide it by 12, then her monthly salary will be 20,000. So we compute the semi-monthly salary, and that will be paid twice a month. Okay? And when we talk about weekly salary, you simply divide it by 4. So remember that salary is often used for blue-collar jobs. So these are the formulas that you need to understand. So for the monthly salary, we have the annual salary divided by 12 months. Then we have the monthly salary. We have the daily wage times 24 days. So why is it 24 days? Because under the law, it's only required to have 6 days. And the 7th day becomes your rest day. Now to get the weekly salary, we simply divide the annual salary divided by 52 weeks because there are 52 weeks in a year. And to get the weekly salary, we simply multiply the daily wage by 6. Remember that there are some company who gives flexible time such as 5 days of work or maybe 4 days of work. So it will depend on the company. But as per required by the Labor Code of the Philippines, we're only allowed to have 6 days in a week and a total weekly hours, regular hours of 40 hours. So always remember that. All of these rates are always protected by the Labor Code of the Philippines. Let's talk about overtime pay. So overtime pay is the extra pay given for working beyond 8 hours at the rate of an additional 25% of his regular wage. So, this is required by the law that working beyond 8 hours would mean an additional pay. So, many companies are abiding with the labor code, which is in which the multiplier is 1.25. But there are also other companies who gives higher than 25%. Some uses a multiplier 1.3, which means 30%. There are also companies who offers 1.5. So these are very generous companies. So always ask for a contract so that you would know how much will be the overtime pay rate, no, if you sign a contract. For the formulas, when you work on a rest day or a special holiday, the multiplier is 1.3. So you are given under the law additional 30% during your rest day or special holiday wherein your employer asks you to work for those days. When you work on a regular holiday such as Christmas, we multiply the daily rate by 2. This is what you call the double pay. So many employees are happy whenever they work during a regular holiday because regular holidays will pay them double of their daily rate. Now, this is more interesting because when you work on a regular holiday, but that falls again onto your day off or your rest day, you will multiply it by 2.6. So notice that 1.3 doubled. So that becomes a 2.6, which is our multiplier. And there are also special cases in which employees, such as call center agents, are on their graveyard shift. Okay, so we call this pay as a night shift differential. So there is an additional 10% if you work beyond 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So usually the 10% increase or the multiplier 1.1 is given to employees, no, who works graveyard. Now let's talk about another concept, which is the commission income. Many Filipinos, especially those in sales, earn based on performance. So commission will always be based from performance. So commission is a percentage of the total sales they make. So this is common in jobs like real estate agent, insurance brokers, or cell phone store staff. So for example, if an employee sells 100,000 worth of cell phones, then she gets a 5% commission. So the percentage of commission will depend on the company's terms. So that will be 100,000 times 0.05. So that's a total commission of 5,000. Remember that workers will always receive their base salary. So there is what we call the base pay or the base salary plus their commission. While others are just working by pure commission. So they don't have a what you call a base salary. So if we solve problems for the next parts, then you will learn more about the different types of commissions. So let's proceed now to the piecework earnings. So this is another form of earning, but this time it will be based on the total number of items or products completed or maybe services rendered. So workers are paid for every item that they will complete. So this is common among home-based workers or factory laborers. For example, each bag, each dress that you sew is equal to your income. So this type of earning encourages productivity, but it must be monitored to avoid exploitation. And that's why labor protection is very important. So remember, GenMath learners, that understanding these terms is more than just solving math problems. It's about being ready for the real world because many of your parents, titos and titas and kuyas experience these exact scenarios. So as future professionals, employees, or entrepreneurs, you must know how to compute fair compensation, check for legal deductions under the labor code, and make informed decisions about your income. So this is your first step to becoming financially literate and socially aware. Now, it's your turn. Let's go back to our notebook and study the formulas and definition. Okay? So let us keep learning with purpose so that we can proceed to the next activity. And this will be our last activity. So let's discover more about concepts on income. So let's see how you well understood key terms such as salary, wages, gross income, net income, deductions, and benefits, all essential concepts in understanding how income works for many Filipino workers today. So our activity is entitled Awa or Ali. So for the directions, we will read each statement is correct. This is a Kapampangan word, which means yes. But in this case, if the statement is correct, you write Awa. It means you are agreeing. And if the statement is incorrect, you say Ali. Ali is a Kapampangan term, which means no. So use your GenMat notebook and you try to figure out the 5 items. If in case you were not able to finish the activity, you can post this video and then we proceed to the answers. So which item are you in? Are you solving? Correct answers. Let us reveal the answers. Let's have the first one. What's your answer? What do you think? Is the statement Awa as written accurate, or is it Ali, which is inaccurate? If you said Ali, then good job. Remember that salary and wages are both types of income, but not exactly the same. Salary is usually paid monthly or semi-monthly with a fixed rate, while wages are just paid per hour or per day work, and it is not always daily. Always remember that. Let's move now to item number 2. Awa or Ali? Very good. That's an awa. So gross income is the full amount you earn before anything is taken away, like your SSS, pag-ibig, or withholding tax. If you're working in government, then that's a GSIS deduction. Let's proceed now to the third item. Awa or Ali? Correct. This is awa. So this is your take-home pay. What's left after all the deductions? So don't forget that. So that's the definition of net income. Let's have item number 4. Is this accurate? Correct. The answer is awa. So these are required by the law under the Labor Code of the Philippines and help support government services like healthcare and housing. So there are mandatory fees that we need to pay to the government. Let's have number 5. Is this awa or ali? Absolutely. It's awa again. So these non-cash benefits are part of the worker's total compensation. So they might not be in your payslip as cash, but they add great value to your job or work. So what did we learn today? So Ali means no and awa means yes in the Kapampangan word. Always remember that these concepts help us understand how salaries, wages, deduction, and benefits work. So both in math and real life, especially for the Filipino workers under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Did you get a perfect score? Excellent. Did you learn something for today? So for our next topic, we will try to compute now salary, wage, and commission, and that will be part 2 of our discussion. Keep learning and see you in the next lesson.